Good morning, everybody. How's everybody? All right, I want all the students to stand up. Where are you? I want to see you stand up. Isn't that a good-looking bunch? And let me tell you, from every indication we know of, they've done a wonderful job, and they've been a great bunch to be here. And I know they're going to go on later on and do well in whatever they want to pursue. And I've had an opportunity to talk to many of them and find out where they were from, what they want to study, and where they're going. And they're just a great bunch of young people to work with. I want to take this opportunity today to thank each and every one of you for coming. This is an exciting time. I want to introduce a couple of people who are with us today, and they are two of our members of our Board of Trustees. First of all, our chairman of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Betty Jo Foster. I don't know where I got her. Betty Jo, stand up so be recognized. Another member of our Board of Trustees, Jim Daniels. I want to say to each and every one of you, we have enjoyed having you, and I want to thank those who have taken our interns and worked with our interns throughout this particular season. It's been, I think, a whirlwind of activity for them, and to watch them, some of them in the research cages doing research, some of them doing communications work, some of them doing IT work, all of the things that's been done, and of course those who are out and working with our industrial people. What a great job. And I want to thank our industrialists who have supported this program. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize two people that are a very important part of this project. And I've had the opportunity this morning to spend a good amount of time with our guests from the Virginia Space Grant Consortium, and that's Murray Sandy and John Yakabuchi. Y'all stand up. Y'all gonna be recognized later. We spent the morning looking at ways that we can bring our young people into the associations with the space programs and NASA and all of those type of things, the aerospace, and the different ways that we can collaborate with Murray and John and work with them and bring those programs into the building for our young people. And I might say that I got mighty excited at some of the things that they could do in the internships and the programs that could be brought into this facility to serve our young people in this region. And they are ready and willing to work with us, right, Murray? and have committed to work very closely with us in the future. I think we had a good wealth of interns, an assorted wealth of interns, and I want to thank our staff for your part in seeing that this was a quality program. And I think you're going to hear today, as we go through this process, I think you're going to see some testimonials. I have not seen them, but I think you're going to see some testimonials that will come from the students as to what they feel that this experience has been. I'm going to try to stay here as long as I can, but I will be slipping out. It's not that I don't care and I don't want to be here, but we are in some very exciting negotiations with our economic developers throughout the region. And I need to, about things that we will be doing together in the future. And I need to move out here in a few minutes and take care of that. It's probably one of the important things we'll do over the next few months. And we're about home, and hopefully we can finish the process this morning. And I think it'll be very exciting times for the Institute and for our region to be able to bring that to fruition. Can't say what it is yet, but it's something that I think we can all be excited about. If I don't make it back, Michael will Duncan, our deputy director, will take over at the end, and he probably will anyway. But I want to make sure that I wish each and every one of you students the best of luck and best of success as you go forward. You're a quality group of young people, very much so. And if there's any parents in here, you might as well be very proud. They are very, very good, and they know how to act, and they know how to talk to people, and they know how to present themselves well. And I can tell you, sometimes that's more important than what you know. Okay? More important than what you know. They're very well dressed. They present themselves well. They present themselves in a professional way. And I think we can all be proud of you. Now, the best thing for you to do is go on and do good in school. Have a good day. Thank you. I guess you're going to feed them, or you're going to take care of that, Tanya? Okay. Okay, I'll let you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tanya Mills. I'm the internship coordinator for the program this summer. During the springtime when we were selecting interns, there were some aspects that the mentors and the staff members here at the Institute were looking for, as well as the members of the community who we had. We had 4 interns who were supported by community members. We had members at DanCam, American National Bank, as well as Intertape and Sodomer. And if representatives are here from there, please stand. And we also had students who were involved at Dan River Plants. So please stand up so people can see you really quick. If you are the mentors from those organizations, I recognize. Thank you. Those qualities that we look for were someone conscientious, creative, and inquisitive, because these are some of the skills that we know will and have attracted talent to Southern Virginia. And that's what we want. We want these talented individuals to come back to Southern Virginia when they finish their education and show employers that this region has the talent that they're looking for. The interns that we had were in educators, college, high school, and we also had a Project Seed intern by the American Chemical Society. The educator intern worked 160 hours and began June 24th along with the high school students. She had a chance to work hands-on in labs with molecular biology experiences. She was able to potentially earn a continuing education certification, develop classroom curriculum, and had to be a teacher in grades 6 through 12 or community college. But we also had our college interns who were students who began May 20th, most of them, and they worked up to 320 hours during the summer. The Institute had a chance to help the students encounter a new opportunity this year by registering the students through the Commonwealth STEM Industry Internship Program, which is also known as CSIP. The CSIP program matches Virginia college and university students majoring in STEM-related fields looking for a paid internship program with companies doing business in Virginia that offer paid internships. This program is being paid for by the Commonwealth of Virginia and is both being implemented and managed by the Virginia Space Grant Consortium. The IRLR has been working closely with the Virginia Space Grant Consortium to support the CSIP in the Danville region, in addition to publicizing the program to local businesses and participating in the CSIP itself. We partnered with the Virginia Space Grant Consortium and NASA to produce 6 webcasts that can be viewed by the general public from the events tab on the CSIP homepage at csip.org. The overall theme of these webcasts are building skills and exploring workforce opportunities in STEM. This summer, a combined effort of the CSIP, IALR, and local companies has placed 11 interns within 6 companies in the Danville region. The high school interns were in advanced learning, communications, information technology, and Institute for Sustainable and Renewable Resources departments here at the Institute. These high school students created learning objectives with their mentors and work towards establishing those goals. They began June 25th and worked up to 120 hours. The Project Seed intern began with an initiative when in April 2013, the American Chemical Society asked the Institute to participate in the Project Seed program. Project Seed provides opportunities for students who historically lack exposure to scientific careers to spend a summer conducting hands-on research with the scientists in academic, industry, and government research activities. This was an 8-week program where students worked 40 hours per week. The Project Seed intern was Rashawn Blood, and she stated, when it comes to finding what you want to do, find someone that is doing what you want and that you find interesting. Ask them questions. Get to know that person and find out what makes them successful. These are the people that you want to make mentors. This is what our interns did, and this is what our mentors did. The interns had an opportunity at the Institute and in the community to show an interest in their career and a desire to learn about the career and work with those mentors to learn more about it. During the moments at the work site, interns have shared their experiences and components of what they've done. And at this moment, we're going to see what their experiences have been, and they're going to share what kind of things they've learned while they're here at the Institute.
Hello, my name is Tara Stafford. I have been the educator intern here at the Institute for the 2013 year. I am a teacher at Dan River Middle School. I teach 7th grade life science. I originally graduated from Virginia Tech about 10 years ago with my degree in biology. And when I heard about this internship, I thought it would be a very good opportunity to come back and kind of refresh my knowledge on biotechnology and genetic engineering that's going on in this institute. I think for the most part, working with my students, when we think about biotechnology, we think about it going on in other parts of the world and not realizing that some of that information is that, or some of that research is actually going on right here in the institute, basically in our backyard. All right, that's the end of the first one. All right, my first project that I worked on here at Institute was to come up with a presentation to present to other teachers about some of the things going on here at the Institute and what they can take and use in their classroom. What I decided to present to other teachers was, first off, an update on what's going on in the field of genetic engineering. So I created a PowerPoint presentation to share some of the information about breakthroughs in technology of what's going on. I know personally my information has been outdated, so I wanted to give teachers some additional resources they can use in their classroom. I also came up with a very simple lab that teachers could conduct in their lab on DNA recombination to show how genes of interest can be inserted into DNA. And then I worked with Dr. Dan to come up with a presentation on agrobacteria, which can be used as a vector to insert genes into plants and collect calluses or tumors from the plants to grow genetically engineered plants. So I worked out a way teachers could use that as a jumping board for using the scientific investigation process. All right, end on that one. My second project was to help out on the Arundo project that Dr. Dan is conducting here at the Institute. Initially what I did with that was I helped make P-plugs in the lab. I learned how to make those, and that was probably the easiest thing to do. Then I moved on to tissue cultures, which are much more intensive process in learning how to do that. Very careful about the sterilization to make sure there's no bacteria growing in the Arundo. And then I got very fortunate to come in at the exact right time to be able to go out and do a field planting with the Arundo. We actually just did that yesterday. We went out with 6,000 plants, and I think we ended up getting about 1,125 plants planted, which was very tiresome. But it was fun, and it was a good learning experience to see how scientists take the research aspect and are actually building into the commercialization of the Arundo project. My third and final project was to work on a hypothesis on the dominance and recessive of certain genes in the tomato plant. Dr. Dan gave me information about certain traits she was finding expressed in her tomato plants, and she gave me information about how many genes she thinks is coding for those traits, and she asked me to make a hypothesis about whether I thought the genes were dominant and recessive. And I did some research. She gave me some information, Faith Campbell gave me some information to look at, and my hypothesis worked out to be that one of the traits was controlled by one codominant gene and the other trait was controlled by a codominant gene and one recessive gene. And I just want to say thank you to everyone here, in particular Dr. Dan for being patient with me and giving me so much information, not only here to use while I was working, but also to take back with me to my students and to share with other teachers. Thank you to Ani and Melissa and Faith and the lab for helping me and be patient with me and working out the P-plugs and the tissue cultures. Thank you to Jesse and Tanya and Dana for helping me with the professional development aspect of everything, and again being patient with me and my scheduling issues within the Institute. And then everyone else here who's been so nice and inviting, kind to me while I've been here. Thank you very much.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Virginia Space Grant Consortium and the CSIP program, the Institute for Advanced Learning and Technology, and also American National Bank, and everyone else that's contributed to this experience. My name is Matthew Riddle, and I'm currently a sophomore at Virginia Tech, and I'm majoring in electrical engineering and minoring in computer science. I really wanted to intern with the Institute, or through the Institute this year. I wanted to intern basically to gain some experience as working as an engineer, to see how everything goes. I wanted to see how to apply book knowledge to reality, to see what I've learned in the classroom. Some goals is just basically to graduate from Virginia Tech. I want to also get a job right after, working for a company, hopefully working as an engineer, doing hands-on type work. I believe that internships give people a step forward and than other people that don't get internships, and it gives them a step forward into the work society. So while I was at American National Bank, I worked for what's the network services, which basically doing IT work. One of my projects that I had was the user access review for 2013, where basically I updated the employee directory and made sure that every employee at the bank had the right software and the capabilities to use the software needed. Another project that Network Services is working on currently is VDI, which is Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. This is basically where we're trying to make every branch computer virtual, and we're putting the desktop images on a server, and they're going to be allocated to the desktop. This will be easy for uploading new software. It'll help out all of that. And also I did help desk, where I answer phones and emails and help employees with all their computer problems. So this is basically a normal day at work for me. On the left you see that I'm sitting at my desk working on the user access report, and on the right you see a coworker, Doug, and I working on a computer. Thanks again for everything.
Hello, I am Chelsea Reynolds, and I've spent the summer working as an engineering intern at Dan-Kim Technologies, also known as DTI. I was born and raised in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm a rising senior at Virginia Commonwealth University, and I will be graduating this spring with a bachelor's in chemical engineering with minors in chemistry and mathematics. As I mentioned, I'm not from the area, so I never really considered Danville as a place that would employ many chemical engineers. When I visited DTI, however, I was very impressed with all that we have to offer. New chemical processes are constantly being implemented that provide a wide variety of products. The facility is structured in a way that allows for a lot of flexibility in the services and products that we offer. And most importantly, safety is the primary concern of the company, which is critical in the chemical industry. I've worked on a lot of different projects this summer, some of which include piping and instrumentation diagrams, material and energy balances. I attended 2 classes on dust explosions and flammability hazards. I participated in a process and hazard analysis, which included creating a deviations and consequences list for a new process. And I also got the opportunity to work in the lab for a week doing research and development on an existing process to see if it could be improved in some way. The most recent project I've worked on is the implementation of 2 new chemical processes. The first process involved making a polymer. We took a monomer solution and slowly fed it into a reactor containing an initiator, which polymerized the solution, creating the final product. The second process involved taking a milk protein and adding it to an acid in order to create curd particles. These particles were then washed and resolubilized into the final product. While helping with these projects, I was able to write the standard operating procedures that are actually used in process. I also performed a hazard and operability study that allowed operators, engineers, and safety personnel to come together and openly discuss the procedures to ensure that they were as safe and as effective as possible. Overall, I had a great experience this summer. I would like to thank the Commonwealth STEM Industry Internship Program, the Virginia Space Consortium, and the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research for providing me with this opportunity. Most importantly, I would like to thank all of the people I got the pleasure of working with at DanChem, including Jill, Richard, Paul, and Will, and also Kathy, who couldn't be here today. I think there is always a concern when in school about whether or not you have chosen the right career, but this summer has really confirmed my desire to become a chemical engineer, and I'm really looking forward to graduating this year and hopefully getting the opportunity to come back and work at DanChem in the spring. Thank you.
My name is Alicia Nestor, and I'm from Medicine, Virginia. I had the opportunity to work with Dan River Plants this summer, and I really, truly appreciate it. I never thought that I would be here doing something that I learned about in school. It's really amazing to get to do it in real life. Here's some pictures from this summer. We learned a lot about lab safety, what to do to be safe. This is what we used. I don't know if you can see my arrow or not. To make media in the lab. We got to propagate a lot of plants and tissue culture. This is our plant room. This is some miscanthus here. We propagated a lot of miscanthus this summer. This is some in our plant room that I actually propagated in the baby food jars in the center there. This is a picture of my azalea project that I worked on with Amy this summer. I was using sun bags, testing different types of media and the effect that the contents would have on the azalea plants. We cleaned a great deal of plants this summer before we planted them. These are some azaleas here at the bottom in baby food jars. And over here to the right, we're propagating angel trumpet plants. They were pretty smelly plants. That's why we have on the masks. Up at the top is some miscanthus that we propagated. And over to the right is a Virginia Tech daylily that was in bloom. We got to work a lot in the greenhouse this summer, as you can see in the center there. We propagated a lot of miscanthus. And also, I almost forgot to mention, as well in the greenhouse, we got to deliver, I believe it was almost 6,000 Virginia Tech daylilies in 2 days. And this picture is when we were delivering that day, and that was really an interesting day. And just want to say how much I have appreciated this opportunity and meeting all these people and just being here. It's been really great, and this is our internship. And I thank y'all.
I'm Alicia Lawless. I'm from Martinsville, and this summer I interned with Dan River Plants. I'm a sophomore at Patrick Henry Community College, where I major in agribusiness. But I plan on transferring to Virginia Tech next fall to major in environmental horticulture. The reason why I interned this summer is because I want to gain as much knowledge and experience in as many horticulture fields as I can, just so I can figure out which field best suits me for a future career. This summer, I did an experiment where I compared the speed of rooting of azaleas in 4 different types of media. I started it on June the 12th, where I made the media, and then the next day I put the plants into culture. And I started taking samples from each media on July the 3rd. The first media to show roots was media number 1, and it showed them on June the 3rd. And then the second media was media number 2. And the rest of the medias, number 3 and 4, still don't have any roots. Other things that I did this summer was clean and prepare plants for transplanting from the tissue culture jars into plug trays so we can transfer them to the greenhouse. And I also prepared media, both rooting and propagation, depending on what we needed. I worked under the hood, dividing and propagating plants and transferring them from different types of media I've worked with azaleas, carex, angel trumpet, kale, roses, and miscanthus. We went on deliveries where we delivered over 6,000 daylilies in 2 days. And we went to the greenhouse and worked where we transplanted miscanthus, and we picked up and dropped off plants that we used in the lab to initiate. I just want to thank everybody at Dan River Plants and the Institute for a great opportunity this summer. I've learned a lot, and it's really going to help me, influence me on what career I want to go into, what type of field. So thank y'all.
Oops. Going forward. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Wilson, and I interned with Dan River Plants this summer. From Virginia Tech, I'm majoring in environmental horticulture and minoring in civic agriculture and food systems. My hometown is from Maxon, Virginia, so I'm very convenient, 20-minute drive. I'm happy. You may ask why I wanted this internship. I'm very fascinated with commercial micropropagation and just all the aspects that go into it. And I wanted to know so much. I wanted to increase my knowledge, and this internship was the internship for me. The experience I have gained is amazing. Safety hazards with, the autoclaves, the sterilization, how clean you need to be by even changing your shoes, no contamination, that's what you need in this kind of company. My love for and appreciation for horticulture has greatly increased, and working with this internship has supported my decision to go into tissue culture once graduation occurs. You may ask what life as a DRP intern is, and just letting you know, we make the best of every situation. We create media, propagation or rooting, depending on the plants. We clean plants, and as you can see, Angel's trumpet, just don't do it. It's very, very smelly. We also work under the hood. I got to propagate carex, in which I was producing about 1,200 plants a day, and so I completed my goal of 1,000. We also did greenhouse work and also became professional dishwashers. My main project, I worked on Carex pittsylvanica. I really enjoyed this plant, and so what I tested was the different rooting capabilities. I tested 4 types of media with either charcoal or agar. And I found out that there was one media that was the best, and I think we've actually started using that. As you can see, it's like a slow hedge type thing, and also you can see where I was propagating. So I think that was my favorite part of the whole experience. And here's some of the plants that Dan River Plants have actually done. And so I just want to say thank you to the Dan River Plant staff and the Institute staff. This experience has been amazing. If I could do it over again, I would. And hopefully this experience will take me on to the further step of my career. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maggie McLeish, not Lauren Nance, but I'm here to speak on behalf of her today. Lauren is a rising sophomore at Virginia Polytech and State University. She has interned at Dan River Plants this summer through the New College Institute Intern program. At Dan River Plants, she worked on a variety of experiments. Most of these were on plants that were either ornamental or had bioenergy possibilities. Through her research, she studied tissue culture, plant production, and analysis of compounds, materials, and testing schedules. During this time, she learned how to use equipment such as sterile hoods and several other new technologies. The New College Institute partners with education providers throughout Southern Virginia. They deliver degrees and certificates to many people in Southside Virginia. In doing so, they also provide regional employers with skilled workers. The purpose of the New College Institute Intern program is to provide students with a hands-on learning experience. It gives the college students professional development and networking opportunities, all the while providing Southside Virginia with cutting-edge workforce. Lauren Nance would like to thank all the people at Dan River Plants and everyone at the Institute, along with the CSIP representatives. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laura Gibson. I am a student at Danville Community College, and I will be attending Virginia Tech next year. My internship here at the Institute was in the ISRR department. So what I did was more in a lab. My project was to study the PVMMP in switchgrass. And there have been studies done that we really don't necessarily know what they do in plants. So we wanted to take a better look at it and try and gain more knowledge. We believe that the MMMPs help in the plant extracellular matrix, more specifically with development and growth. And we do know that in different stages of the growth that the gene expression changes, and it also can change due to abiotic and biotic stresses. There have been 6 MMMPs identified in switchgrass, and there have been 3 that have been studied in young and old plants, and we know some knowledge about them. For my part, I had to design and test primers for the MMMP 4 through 6, sequence all of the products for the MMMPs 1 through 6, and study the relative expression levels of PV5 MMMPs and in tissues of 1 and 3 month old plants. So through that, I learned several different skills. Primer design using Primer 3 software, PCR and gel electrophoresis, gel purification, transformation into DH5 alpha component cells, and blue and white colony screen. And this is a picture of a blue and white colony screen that I did. And then also I learned mini prep, restriction enzymes and digestion, direct using PCR product, and indirect through a PGEMTEZ vector sequencing, and then nucleotide sequence comparison using a blast tool from a software online NCBI. I also did some plant tissue culture, and that was making culture medium, transfer calcium to maintaining and regeneration medium, and then endophyte inoculation of young seedling. I did get a little field experience harvesting plants and measuring of shoot and root length. And then I weighed dry tissue of switchgrass before and after cellulose pre-treatment, and that's a picture of doing that. And I just want to say thank you to everybody, Dr. Flynn, Dr. May, Alejandra, Scott, and all of the ISRR lab. They have been so welcoming and so helpful in everything that I did. I was never afraid to ask a question. And just the entire institute for being really warm and welcoming to all of us interns. So thank you, and I really enjoyed my time here.
Hi again, I'm Maggie McLeish. I am a rising junior at James Madison University, where I am double majoring in biology and integrated sciences for technology with a concentration in manufacturing. This summer, I was an intern in the advanced learning department. I quickly learned that it's very difficult to sum up advanced learning. I was able to participate in a variety of activities this summer. The first one I want to talk about is the STEM Mobile Lab. We traveled all over to places like Patrick Henry Elementary School and Martinsville YMCA. Some places even came to us, such as Dan River Parks and Rec. I was able to teach the lessons with hands-on activities. Some of these activities included hydrophobic sand, building weather stations, and handheld microscopes. The next aspect I want to talk about are the camps and field trips. Once again, we traveled all over, and some places came to us. These included several of the local YMCAs, such as Collinsville and Martinsville. We also had the Reynolds Homestead camps come to us as well. We participated in several activities in which I made the lesson plans and then acted them out through my teaching skills. I learned a lot, but some of the activities that we did included DNA extraction of strawberries, making slime, and elephant toothpaste. The last aspect are community events. I learned a lot and had a lot of fun doing so. I went to the Career Readiness Conference at the Martinsville Hospital, where I later took the National Career Readiness Certification Test. If we want people to have their employees take this test, then why not have us take it too? So I learned a lot from that experience. But I also had several other opportunities to speak, such as at the high school Fuel for the Future sessions where I often gave the introductions. I also had the positive opportunity to go to several of the local companies and businesses here in Southern Virginia, such as Nobilis and the Southern Virginia Higher Ed Center. Yesterday, I even got to see some students from Iowa talk about this virtual reality class that they've taken and how much they've learned about CAD and other computer softwares. I took away a lot from this experience, including business etiquette and the importance of STEM education. But what I took away the most was leadership skills, not only from teaching children and other people, but from watching my coworkers and the staff of the Institute work together and collaborate. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I know it will help me further my career in manufacturing management. I would like to thank all of the Institute staff, especially the Department of Advanced Learning.
Hey, my name is Rob Edmonds. I'm an intern at Internship Polymer Group, and I'll be returning as a senior at James Madison University in the fall, where I major in engineering. The reason I chose Internship for my internship is I wanted some experience in computer-aided design and an insight into industrial engineering. I've worked on a multitude of projects this summer. To save time, we'll just focus on two of them. The main one was updating the master plant layout, which is the main plant drawing with all the components, and creating machine drawings to assist the technicians that actually operate the machines. The master plant layout consists mainly of equipment and piping systems. Some of the ones that I helped map were chilled water, compressed air, natural gas, and the electric. Here you can see a before and after CAD drawing of, this is our stretch film department. You can see at the top that it started out as, or some of the lines started out as just a outline. I imported the equipment there to fill that out. You can also see in the top right corner, there's a mechanical room where you have the air compressor and air dryer that you can see the purple lines that feed to the equipment and the blue lines, which are the water lines. Here you can see a before and after shot of one of our main mechanical rooms, where you see the water lines coming in, and then they are pumped through the systems, and then down at the bottom you can see that it feeds it out to the rest of the plant. The second thing that I worked on this summer were the machine drawings. This is a winder where the rolls of tape are wound through these rollers, and then the adhesive is put on it and then wound back onto the roll to be slit later into the smaller rolls that you'd buy in the store. Down at the bottom you can see that there's an Excel spreadsheet, and I linked that so that any updates that they make to the Excel document will automatically be reflected in this drawing to save the engineers time later on. I'd like to thank the Institute and Internship Polymer for everything they've done for me this summer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan Ross, and I had the opportunity this summer to intern at Soldermer. I currently attend Virginia Tech, and I will be a sophomore in the fall, and my major is mechanical engineering. Just some facts about Soldermer. Soldermer is a global supplier of monomers, acrylic, and acrylic eliminators, or methacrylic oligomers. They have plants located in Chatham, Virginia, and in Exton, Pennsylvania, where their headquarters are located. They have a parent company, which is called Arkema. My reasoning and benefits for taking on this internship, I feel, really tie together nicely. The main one being experience. I get the experience of getting to put this on my resume for helping me to achieve my first job upon graduation of college. But I also had the opportunity to interact with people in their work environment, to have deadlines that I had to meet, and to really get the feel of what it would be like to work at a company full-time as a career through my, upon graduation. Some of my assignments throughout the summer, the first one is P&IDs, which are piping and instrumentation diagrams. And these are like blueprints or floor plans for all the pipes and all the buildings and all the tanks throughout the facility. And my job was by hand and using some CAD to go through and make sure that any additions were updated and distributed throughout the plant to make sure that the workers knew what the floor plan of all the buildings were. My next assignment was the SPCC, which is the Spill Prevention, Control, and Containment Plan, which was a regulatory document required by the EPA that had to go through an index and make sure that everything was updated and up to date, and it just required everything from safety procedures and emergency contacts and emergency procedures for spills if they occurred in the facility. Another assignment I had was the OEL standard, which is the open-ended line standard. And using this, I really got the opportunity to go outside of the office and go into the plant. And I had the opportunity to get up close to all the machines and go through the buildings. And my job was to inspect pipes and just to feel like it really gave me an opportunity to see what it's like just outside of office work as well. And just wanted to give thanks to Saltimer and everyone for this opportunity. And I feel like coming off of freshman year with an opportunity to get an internship in a field that interests me is really helpful. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shane Mayhew, and I'm a sophomore at Radford University, and I'm majoring in computer science. Here at the Institute, I got to experience one of the many fields of computer science, which this time happened to be databases, which I probably won't go into as a career path. So why intern? The first reason, one of the 4 reasons is you identify possible career paths. You get to find out if that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. The second reason is you get to acquire contacts for future jobs. So your mentor, he can probably be a job reference for future employment. The third reason is learning skills outside the classroom. You can be smart in the classroom, but until you get that hands-on experience, it's going to be a world of difference. And then fourth and finally is responsibility on what must be done. Your employer is going to expect you to get the job done on time. And if you didn't already notice, IALR, the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research. I started on one of 2 projects. My first project was the employee database. This simplified the hiring process by over 45 minutes to an hour. Anyone that has been hired knows that stack of papers that's like this thick. Well, this gets rid of most of that. So when an employer first comes in, they see this page, and they click on New Contact, and then this page comes up. And what this page is they can fill in all their information, and it populates to all the forms that are needed to be filled. So where your name is at, automatically filled. Everything that gets filled in here gets populated. So like me or Betty can go downstairs, and we can click on your name in the little drop box in the top right corner, and just hit part-time print if you're like an intern, so it can just go ahead and it'll print just those documents. It can also, if you're a full-time employee, it can print all of them. And you can even see all the buttons down at the bottom if you just want one specific paper. So the second project I worked on was sort of like the filming and animation and stuff. And as you can tell, last year, I created this animation. It's a little laggy, but you can see all it does is it turns. So now, this is where I'm at. This is a year later, and this is what it looks like. And Shame for Games is where I edit my videos for YouTube and stuff, so that was my intro for my channel. So it's a lot harder than it looks. I was self-taught. I learned as I went, so if there was something wrong with the audio, I just had to try it, delete it, and start over. I mean, you just learned as you went. So, and we also did a webcast. The interns for the internship were supposed to watch a bunch of webcasts, and I actually got to film one of the webcasts, and that was the camera I used for that thing. And this piece of equipment is what we use to record the sound and the video and control what's going on. And if you don't have this type of equipment, it can get really messy really fast. This was my room at like the peak of filming. There's stuff everywhere, you can't even walk. So I'd like to thank CSIP, the Institute, and the IT department for this wonderful internship experience. Thank you.
Thank you for the college interns. We're going to begin with the high school interns now. As you know, Shane came here last year in high school and came back this year, which was a great opportunity. And one of our high school participants, Mr. Ganahl Travis, who will be participating next in a couple of minutes, he was also our Graduate of Distinction Scholarship winner for this year, too. So we're glad to have him here. Emma, we'll begin. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emma Warner. I'm a rising senior at Carlisle School in Martinsville, Virginia. This summer, I was the Communications High School intern for the Institute. During my time here, the things that I did were split up into 3 main groups: daily responsibilities, weekly responsibilities, and long-term projects. My day-to-day and weekly activities included organizing files and information, taking pictures of various camps, events, and facilities at the Institute, writing blog posts for both the Institute and the Conference Center, updating the website and the Megabytes menu, doing research for articles, taking notes on events, helping with the Dan River Plants website, and more. My long-term projects took up a lot of my time here. A few of these were articles that I wrote for the Institute. I took photos, interviewed participants and organizers, and eventually wrote articles on both the STEM Fitness H Camp, a camp held as a collaboration between the Health and Wellness Department of Danville Parks and Recreation and the Institute for local youth to teach them about health and health-related systems, and the Southern Virginia Educators Development Institute, or SETI, workshops, which aim to give local educators new skills and techniques to pass on to their students. I learned many things while putting together these articles, including how to use the website editor and how to properly interview someone for an article. However, the main project that I worked on was the Molecular Plant Biology Camp video that I researched and created using footage and pictures from the camp. The participants of this camp spent 5 days between the Institute and Virginia Tech working with graduate students and professors to learn more about molecular plant biology. While making this video, I learned many new skills. Using Adobe Premiere, the video editing software that you can see here, I planned, scripted, and edited together a 2.5-minute video to show what the participants in the camp enjoyed and learned both here and at Virginia Tech this summer. I have a short clip from the video that I'll be showing at the end of my presentation. I've gained many, many valuable skills that will continue to benefit me in the future during my time here. I want to thank the Institute and everyone I had the pleasure to work with for giving me this opportunity. And now
Prior to camp, I didn't have that much knowledge of plant sciences, but I think now that what I've learned, like at Tech and with Dr. Zhao, I think there's careers out there in science and that I hadn't known about before, and I think it's very interesting what they do here with the studies into transgenics and everything.
While at camp at Virginia Tech, I enjoy being on the campus and Dr. Zhao teaching us how everything in his lab works. And before I went to Tech, I didn't know anything about plants, and now I know everything.
Hello, my name is Ganahl Travis, and I was the IT intern here at the Institute. Just a little bit about me. I just recently graduated from George Washington High School, and I'll be headed to the University of Virginia in a couple weeks. I'm interested in computer engineering, and this has been a really fun intern and a very interesting internship because of that fact, and that there are computers everywhere. This particular picture is of room 227, which is upstairs. I've actually taken class in this room, so it was very interesting to image these computers, which, in simplest terms, we made all the computers in this room basically look the same when you booted them up. Fact about doing the computers this way is you run into problems. This is a message we got when we booted up all the computers at the same time to take that image and put it on the computer, getting a message like this on every single one of the computers. But it was good experience in trying to figure out how to get around problems such as this. We did figure that out. We have all those computers imaged. Speaking of problems, you have problems with iMacs too. We actually had to take an iMac apart, take the screen out, and replace it. This is some pictures of where we were taking parts off the old screen, attaching them to a new screen, getting ready to put the new screen in there. That was some hardware problems. Then there were software problems. This picture to the left here is where I took all the computers out of the boardrooms upstairs, and this computer right in front of me, took them back upstairs to my desk, which is that picture on the left, and made sure they were all up to date with all the latest Windows updates, Apple updates, Adobe Flash. And then I also labeled them. That's that little thing in the middle there, a labeler, to know which computer belonged to which boardroom. This picture on the left here is just the executive boardroom, which is the one over that way, room 206, the computer in there. I'd like to thank the Institute for this experience, putting it together. I'd like to thank the IT department for making it such a great experience. It was extremely fun for me. It reinforced the fact that I want to be a computer engineer. And I'm also looking forward to finding something like this again next year with CSIP. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Hinton, and I interned in the Advanced Learning Department here at the Institute. I am a rising senior at Tunstall High School, and I also go to Piedmont Governor School here at the Institute, too. And I plan on majoring in civil engineering, and I wanted to have this internship so I could gain experience in the professional environment, and so I could learn more about STEM education and STEM careers in general. One of the things the high school interns did here was we had Fuel for the Future sessions in which different people from the community came here and they taught us different valuable skills such as helping with interviews, money management, and things such as business etiquette. And also in the Advanced Learning Department, we went to different classes here and we helped out and taught them different STEM things. And we helped teach in the mobile STEM lab in different parts of the community. And we also toured different places in the community such as the Southern Virginia Higher Ed Center, and we also went to the Riverstone Energy Center. Everybody had their own project that they worked on, and I chose mine to be on the gender gap in STEM careers in general. And I had a lot of statistics that I collected, but I can't put all of them in here because that'd take forever. So here's just a few of them that I collected while I was here. In general, in 2018, there are projected to be 8.65 million STEM workers in the entire country. But the education system in America, we're only 25th in mathematics and 21st in science. And it was surprising to me that, in general, women fill 28% of the jobs in America, but they only fill in like 24% of the STEM jobs. And only 1 in 7 engineers are females. 2.5 million college-educated working with. There are 2.5 million college-educated working women in all, but there are 6.7 million college-educated working men. And women earn 14% less than men in STEM jobs. Now, there are a lot of ways to fix this, though. And in Danville, in the footprint of the Institute, there are a lot of opportunities for everybody here. So some possible solutions are to have some female mentors and role models that young girls can look up to and strive to be like. And we can encourage parent involvement in general to help students become more involved with STEM. We can give better STEM education for information for the public, and we can do hands-on activities, which we do here with the mobile STEM lab. They can provide activities that encourage problem solving and can be applied to the real world. And we can do STEM summer camps and even have all girls teams so they can feel more comfortable until they become more confident, and then they can go and mix. And we can involve increasing teacher and school counselor awareness and have outreach events, which we do a lot of those things, so that's good. And I would like to thank everybody in the education of the Advanced Learning Department here and everybody at the Institute in general for helping me and giving me this opportunity. So, thank you.
My name is Hannah Ricketts. I will be a senior at Tunstall High School and the Governor's School here at the Institute. My internship was with the Institute for Sustainable and Renewable Resources here, and I wanted to do this internship because I hope to pursue a career in either biomedical engineering or genetic engineering in the future. I learned basic lab skills, which included plant tissue and tool sterilization, as well as media preparation and sterilization with the autoclave. I worked a lot with amaryllis tissue culture, which is the idea that one cell can form into an entire plant. And the picture on the left is of a somatic embryo, which is a mass of undifferentiated cells that can become either roots or shoots. One of the main projects I worked on was agrobacterial transformation, which we inserted a certain type of DNA into the agrobacteria and then exposed the plants to the agrobacteria in order to get the plants to express GFP, which is a gene marker that can be taken out and inserted certain genes so that we can make plants that are bigger or brighter in color. One of the treatments that we did was orzaglene and colchicine, which doubles the chromosomes, which creates more genetic variation. You can see that the lower concentrations of colchicine were more effective for plant growth. And these are just some graphs that supported the data. And one of the least fun parts of my internship was working in the greenhouse, which was just me getting really hot and sweaty and muddy. I want to say thank you to Song, who unfortunately is not here today, but she was extremely patient with me, Dr. Fun, and the rest of the ISRR staff for allowing me to be an intern here and putting up with me being in their way all the time. Thank you.
My name is Rashawn Blood. I'm a graduated senior from Bassett High School. I also attended Patrick Henry Community College for 2 years through the ACE program, where I received my associate's degree in general studies with a certificate in math and science. I plan to attend Virginia Commonwealth University in the fall to major in social work with a concentration in psychology. I am interning with the Institute because I've always had a passion for STEM fields. I accepted this internship to further expand my knowledge about chemistry. Even though I plan to major in social work in the fall, I found that this internship will help broaden my horizons and also help me achieve effective research skills for the future. Imine synthesis. This is the primary equation I've been working on in the lab along with Jamie and Jim. Imine is also known as a very useful pharmaceutical. It contains two key chemicals, aniline and benzaldehyde, and together they create the product imine. The spinning tube-in-tube reactor is a higher shear mixing with excellent control that produces a product with little contamination. This provides a more efficient and effective product for the environment. The spinning tube-in-tube reactor, this is where we put the chemical equation into action. With these syringes and syringe pumps, we pump the chemicals into the reactor, and inside the reactor, they combine to create the product. After we pull the sample from the reactor, we run them through the gas chromatograph, and this is where we're able to see through graphs what is actually inside the product sample. This is a chart pulled from the reactor. We set the reactor at different temperatures and RPMs, and we also set the syringe pumps at different milliliters per minute to get a consistent rate at which the product sample is collected. Notice that the results are not consistent due to these syringes because we often have to take them off and refill them with chemicals, which provides them a very inconsistent rate at which the product is collected. Once we find the right syringes, the results will be more on a consistent level. This concludes my presentation on my internship thus far. I'm looking forward to continuing my research with the Institute. And I also like to give a special thank you to Jim, Jamie, and ACS Project C for helping me and giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.